Today, we're diving into a really fascinating and honestly pretty provocative prediction about how we're all going to learn over the next 25 years. I mean, you can basically forget everything you think you know about school, because if this forecast is right, the entire system is headed for a complete teardown and rebuild.
Okay, so let's just start with the bombshell claim right out of the gate. The way we do education right now, it's not just outdated, it's fundamentally broken. It literally cannot survive what's coming.
Now that is a powerful statement. The whole argument here is that our industrial model of education, one teacher, 30 kids, everybody learning the same thing at the same pace, is on a collision course with the future. It's not a question of if it's going to collapse, it's a question of when.
And that, of course, leads to the big question, right? If the system we've used for a century is about to fail, what on earth is going to replace it? And the answer isn't some small adjustment. It's a total, radical overhaul.
So we're not talking about a slow, gradual change. The prediction here is for a really rapid transformation. Over just the next quarter century, a series of pretty big technological shocks are going to come along and dismantle the old system, piece by piece, and build something brand new.
This timeline really maps out the whole collapse. And man, it starts fast. The first domino is set to fall in just a couple of years, when AI makes homework pretty much worthless. And from there, the whole idea of a diploma just vanishes. Then we shift to learning things exactly when we need them. And it all ends at a world where memorizing facts is as obsolete as, a fax machine.
Now, the engine driving this massive change is something called the synthetic tutor. Just try to imagine this: an AI educator assigned to every single child for life. It knows exactly how you learn, what you're excited about, and it knows the precise moment you're about to get stuck on something. How can a one-size-fits-all classroom ever compete with that?
And this is how the diploma dies. It gets replaced by a continuous cognitive portfolio. You can think of it like this super secure lifelong transcript that's on the blockchain. It logs every single skill you ever master, from writing a line of code to debating philosophy. So employers won't ask what you studied anymore, they'll just look and see exactly what you can do.
So what happens to the actual school building? Does it just become a museum? Nope, it gets a brand new purpose. Once all the knowledge stuff moves into the home with your AI tutor, school becomes this dedicated hub for all the things humans do best: social skills. It's where you go to learn teamwork, empathy, collaboration, how to be a person. But here's a huge catch. This technological wave isn't going to hit the whole world evenly. The forecast suggests that we're actually going to see 4 very, very different models of education pop up around the globe, all based on different priorities. So here's the bird's eye view. You've got Asia, driven by performance, just diving headfirst into AI. Then you have Europe, which is way more cautious, prioritizing ethics, so they move a lot slower. Emerging nations might just skip the old system entirely. But the prediction for North America? Well, that's where it gets pretty stark. Here, the worry is that this technology just pours gasoline on the inequalities that already exist. So, the wealthy get the best of everything: super powerful AI tutors paired with elite human mentors. But for everyone else, the public system might just replace teachers with cheap, basic AI, creating this huge, uncrossable gap in who gets a real education. But on the flip side, this is where the most incredible social change could happen. Think about how many places skipped landline phones and went straight to cell phones. Well, they could do the same thing with schools. Skip the whole industrial system. All you need is a cheap smartphone, and suddenly a kid anywhere could have access to a world-class education. I mean, that could level the global playing field in a single generation.
So, all these changes, the AI tutors, the way the world fractures, it all leads to one final, really deep shift. And this one doesn't happen in our schools, it happens inside our own minds. It's about a totally new kind of inequality.
This brings us to what might be the final, biggest prediction. The great divide of the future might not be about money at all. It might be about how we choose to use AI. And that choice could split society into 2 fundamentally different kinds of people.
And these are the 2 new classes: the directors and the assisted. The directors, well, they use AI like a co-pilot, right? It's a tool to make their own thinking better, faster, more creative. But the assisted, they're the ones who just hand over the keys. They outsource their thinking to the machine, becoming totally dependent on it for answers. One group stays in control, the other gives it up.
And you know what? This all leads to a fascinating conclusion.
Once machines have totally mastered the how, all the facts, all the technical stuff, all the computation, the entire focus of human education has to pivot. It has to become about the why and the what if. Suddenly, the most valuable skills we can have are the ones machines are terrible at: ethics, deep critical thinking, and knowing what it means to be human.
And that kind of leaves us with this one final, powerful thought to chew on. Maybe the whole point of learning won't be to stuff our own heads with knowledge anymore. Maybe it'll be to develop the wisdom, the morality, and the vision to guide the almost infinite knowledge of the incredible machines we've built.